Um, he'll be giving us some background. So, some information about Colin. Colin is the VP for Australasia. He started in installation operational management in the solar industry, and previously he worked with Jinko Solar and Znshine. He then returned back to Znshine, and for the last 5 years, he's focused on helping bring Znshine into the international marketplace. He's been sharing his experience. Today, he'll be sharing his experience of how Znshine is managed and is managing with COVID-19 in continuing to develop product and service for us. So, Colin, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Fantastic. Welcome, sir. I'm going to, switch me on, give you the reins of the screen. So please feel free to share the screen and show us your presentation and give us some great information.
Thank you very much, Tim. Thank you very much for a kind introduction. Let me bring the presentation up. Can you see that?
Yes, I can. So then if you hit the PowerPoint, it should rock and roll.
Yeah. Is it good? Good?
It's good.
Great. Okay, thank you very much, Tim, for a kind introduction, and good afternoon to everyone, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, of course, I would like to extend our appreciation to One Stop Warehouse marketing team, and team in particular, of course, for the opportunity to share with you guys today Znshine's experiences in tackling and coping with the sudden crisis of COVID-19 in China back in January. Back in January, just before the Chinese New Year holiday starts on the 24th of Jan for a week-long break, Wuhan City became the epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak and was locked down at very short notice. Znshine factory was originally scheduled to reopen, let's say, on the last day of Jan, but had to remain closed for a period of kind of indefinitive at the time, but at least for 14 days, as nobody was clear and sure how long it would take to contain the break. News came every day at that time, so a lot of uncertainties, a lot of anxieties. And on the 14th day of the extended closure, beyond the holiday, Znshine was lucky on the first list of the businesses in Changzhou area getting the government's permission to reopen. And so this gives us a good opportunity to start relatively early, but the resumption of the production is a pretty slow recovery and the process, and the adverse impacts on the production resumption actually lasts more than 14 days, as these impacts are still felt by us today. These adverse impacts obviously flow to our customers, because most of our customers don't have that safety stock expected to meet the situations like this sudden and this complete disruption of supplies for at least 3 weeks, and effectively longer. As Znshine alone has been affected to deliver the products to our customers as originally scheduled in as much as 153 megawatts, which is impacting our customers. And this kind of sudden imbalance between the ongoing demand on our customer side and the abrupt disruption or shortage of the supply from the manufacturers in China has created a lot of issues, not only on us, but to our customers in particular. So we try to get our customers alerted and updated as soon as possible, and in order for them to get prepared early for what is to come. and also we try to ramp up or resume rather our production and then ramp up our capacity as much as we can, even at the extra cost that we have to absorb in order to minimize the impact to our customers. These kind of challenges that Znshine has been facing are unprecedented, like every other business is actually in China. This much relates to the availability, or rather unavailability, of the adequate workforce for the resumption of the production. It has much to do with whether the raw material is already on stock before or built up before the closure for the holiday, or let's say the resumption of the supplies by our raw material supplies, immediately after the crisis, or even at that time was pretty much in the middle of it. Just the curve had been flattened, and of course, very unprecedented situations where the cash flow is so much impacted. So luckily, Znshine has let's say, about 80% of workforce actually are local residents. So this gives us a certain advantage to resume the production early. And since there was no confirmed cases in the local areas, so the government feels more comfortable for us to resume the business activities at a relatively early stage. Then, of course, even if we started relatively early, the production arrangements has faced constant changes, arrangement, rearrangement, simply because of the unpredictability of the supply of raw materials, as well as whatever the supplies resuming the production get committed to supply does not eventuate from time to time. And then, of course, the constraint on the cash flow is another thing that we have tried to do different things in order to get, let's say, our cash flow situation improved. To basically, the early assumption of the production really helps us in unlocking the funds originally invested in materials inventory that we built up before the Chinese New Year. That really helps. But of course, at the same time, a lot of, let's say, frustrations and uncertainties because other businesses, especially the financial organizations, did not react with the supportive measures as quickly, even though they came up later on with support measures, which was very much welcomed. And also because the credit chain, in a normal business situation is broken, which means that a lot of suppliers who were impacted actually or demanded by their vendors, material vendors in turn, for the cash payment, asked to do the 100% payment, cash payment. With all these challenges, obviously, the business has been prepared kind of by ourselves early, and we basically established a special task force in the organization and headed by the head of the Znshine group, the chairman. And there was early preparations even before the production resumption, with all the knowledges and understanding what might come. So basically assign different assignments of the things which are out of the normal business sphere. And then we also assign the persons to do the tasks in order to get the ball rolling. In all that, actually the time is of essence, because situation and news changes every day during that special period of time, especially immediate first 2 weeks of Feb. So because of the attention from the top of the organization, so we can quick decisions and actions can be made and taken to address whatever the issues are coming up, and also keep a very, let's say, quick communication with every stakeholders in our business, within and as well as outside our business. Now, cash flow certainly is one of the constraints critical that we have to face. As I just mentioned, that the early assumption of the production really assists unlocking the funding material stock. We actually also made a special stock sales in order to turn the stocks into cash to improve the liquidity and to keep the orders on hand moving forward. We try to provide whatever assistance we can to the other stakeholders in our supply chain. For instance, transportation companies, we really help them to get the access for the roads in the local areas where we have already established our, let's say, credentials for taking very quick and stringent counteractions towards the spread of the virus. In some cases, we just consulted with our customers to see if they were able to help us to, let's say, get some early payments, to improve the cash flow situation. The other thing, as Tim has just mentioned, that this kind of scenario China has experienced, and now we are experiencing in Australia today, also, let's say, changed the way of our work. We basically moved all from the physical office to the virtual office, which has put a lot of pressure on the connectivity through internet. So our IT team has to stand by almost 24/7, to make sure it works, because so many meetings has been changed from physical to virtual, with the people working from home. Telecom, video, these are the tools that everybody has been, let's say, familiar with, but it has never been so much used during that period of time, than the normal time. So, basically, automated office operation is in full swing. In addition to the normal work, actually, the workload during that period of time has also reduced, simply because of the situation in the country. Then we use the time available on hand to really get to the Znshine online academy running. We've got all the employees on board with new product trainings, with all the courses for developing their skills, which basically get all the teams prepared for the let's say, for the resumption of the production and in the new situation like we are in today. Now, just a few words about what we have done during the resumption or before the resumption of the production. Basically, again, we planned early and get all the organizations ready, including the gears, the products and protective gears, for the workers to use once the production starts. And also the plans, what to do, and training materials for the employees to disseminate it to employees for them to educate themselves and get prepared. And also the preventive practices that are mandatorily implemented throughout the premises against the virus spread. We also put, let's say, the employees' work compliance with these preventive practices as part of their KPI. Because this is an ongoing situation, and we just can't get relaxed, not yet, until it's finally over. Now, back in Australia, the data here is not updated to on Monday's data, but I think today we are in Australia, I think we are about 5,900. And from the curve, from trajectory, that the curve is flattened. But are we out of the woods yet? I don't think so. So I think it still takes a few days or a relatively short period of time before we get a better picture. But globally, we're still pretty much in the middle of the crisis. So we have to stay vigilant and do whatever we can um, in order to, let's say, get the spread under control and minimize all the risk while still trying to, let's say, maintain our business to the best level as we would. So we, this is actually a small video which you could find actually on One Stop Warehouse website link, where it shows the basics of the routine, which is actually a completely new routine that all the Znshine employees are abiding by, are complying with, when, you know, for the production to continue without disruptions. And so this is something you could go to on One Stop Warehouse website and you have a bit of time, you might find it a little bit helpful. Now, before I go, I would actually just a few words about who is Znshine and what Znshine is doing. Znshine is actually a manufacturer of 32 years history. And in terms of manufacturing experiences, Znshine has the longest manufacturing history on all the solar manufacturers in China. So the Znshine had 3 business units. We started from manufacturing modules, of course, but we moved on also to EPC projects in selected markets. And recently we have acquired a battery factory where with their products and services, we can provide more thorough solar storage solutions to our customers worldwide. Our manufacturing facilities, as you would have the chance maybe in future to see, is fully automated, and our EPC projects has very good edges in the markets that we have been present, in Japan, in Europe, and about a year, 18 months ago, I think the European Union has lifted this MIP restrictions, and now we are reviving and have revived successfully the business that was impacted by the MIP restrictions early on. Znshine has also won the tender projects for, let's say, 15,000 villas rooftop systems in Dubai. This actually shows the acceptance by our global clients actually for Znshine panels, particularly suitable for the rooftop systems. And Znshine produces actually a full range of solar modules with different technologies, always staying ahead or staying in the forerun of the industry. And of course, our products are all internationally certified with a leading industry leading warranty. We provide a 15 years product warranty for rooftop systems in Australia and 12 years for all other applications. Of course, these products are globally certified, and we are a member of the CEC Council, and all our products sold in Australia are ICC listed and approved. So we have teamed up with the One Stop Warehouse in offering, let's say, the mainstream product. In this case, 330 watt half cell mono PERC technology used in black frames. We always supply to Australian markets positive tolerance modules of positive power tolerance, which means that it's always on the plus side. These panels are best for the rooftop systems in Australia. And if you are interested in, and you have any queries, either you could come to us or go to, let's say, One Stop Warehouse, who are our best partners in Australia. And this is Znshine. And Znshine means in Australia fair income and to be credit worthy. And this is the philosophy we've been adhering to. In case there is anything that we could help, just feel free to contact. Yes, thank you very much for your time. I hope my time is not too much protracted. Tim?
You were doing at the Znshine Znshine factory. I thought that was, you could just see how organised and how deliberate the company has been to keep staff safe. So I really appreciated seeing that.